Hello everybody. No stream tonight, but I did want to make a quick replay commentary on my own replays. From one of the games that I played 2 days ago on my YouTube stream. So I don't have a strict schedule yet for streaming, but I'm starting around 8:30 p.m. EST on the days that I do stream, so you could probably expect somewhere around there. And of course, the full recording of the stream will be posted to the YouTube channel afterwards, so if you miss it, you can always go back and check it out. So, this game I'm playing Sylas mid versus Yone. It's not it's an annoying matchup, but it is not terrible for Sylas. Yone is pretty annoying to deal with, of course, but you can sort of just outdamage him early if you get an early advantage. So, if your jungler ganks or you get a fight in the river or something like that, and then you can try and just burst him down. And if you get ahead, then you can kind of snowball it out of control. So we see this game. If we look at the enemy team comp, we know that we have Annie, Zed, Yone, Samira, Blitz. So we can already go ahead and see, okay, I want to take Blitzcrank this game, because that's an insanely good ult on Sylas. Annie ult's also quite nice, does a lot of burst damage. Tibbers is a problem for the enemy team to deal with. Zed ult is fine, but the damage is generally a bit low. It's good for the mobility and the untargetability, but, if you're looking for damage, it is not the greatest. Then Yone ult is a decent option as well, has a nice amount of crowd control and mobility if you need to escape or catch up to anyone or anything like that. But our most optimal option is going to be Blitzcrank ult and then probably Annie ult second. Yeah, in these first couple levels, we do just have to play safe. Make sure that we're not getting poked by Yone. I mean, Yone has infinite manaless poke. Infinite manaless cooldownless poke. So we just have to, stay far away and make sure that we're not going to be taking that for free. Once we hit level 3, we can start trying to trade with him a little bit. Because, Sylas spikes very hard at level 3 when you get all your abilities, so... That is generally when you want to be looking for trades. If you're looking for trades level 1 or 2, you're probably going to just get out traded. But trading is really nice with the first strike build because you can just farm free gold for really doing nothing. And it's one of the main things that I like about first strike is you don't have to commit for a full kill to get a ton of value. Especially when you're side laning, you're side laning, the enemy top lane is maybe in your lane, like they're like an Ornn or something. Someone really tanky that'd be hard to kill. And the first strike just lets you farm, you can farm like 150 gold from one trade with an Ornn. You're not going to kill him, but it doesn't matter because you get half of a kill in gold anyway. It's just really helpful. So there, when Yone goes in like that, I can just W. Zed's obviously walking by, so I'm not gonna walk up too far. I actually don't think I pinged that Zed, which is definitely something I should have done. So that could have been an improvement. There is just pinging to let my team know that the Zed is just walking through mid lane. Missed a little bit of CS, unfortunately, but it's fine. We do see the Blitzcrank roaming up, so I have to be a bit careful. I don't want to get hooked or anything, so I'm just sitting back. I do decide to clear the wave because I see Yone top. Or at least I don't know if I actually saw him, but I suspected that he would be top. No, so I didn't actually see him. Because, he wasn't top. But he was gone for long enough where I figured I could probably just clear the wave and then go for a back. Grab the Dark Seal as usual and start working towards the last chapter. Then we go back to lane. Yone's wave clear is quite strong because, again, he has infinite cooldownless, manaless, spammable ability. But we are able to get back, not miss too much. I didn't mess that up there. That was a minion that I probably could have last hit if I saved my E. Okay, that's point. I mean, if you just like look at the health difference between us, I have 1100 max health. Yone has 1000. I mean, 100 health is not anything insane, but it is actually pretty major for these early fights. Just the innate tankiness that Sylas has as sort of an AP bruiser is really helpful for trying to trade in situations like this. But to go for a quick trade, I probably should have engaged a bit harder there. Now that was a really troll E. I didn't actually expect Yone to be able to walk up that far, so going back in there was really troll. I had a pretty clean escape, but yeah, did end up kind of griefing that. My Graves does get a kill out of it though, so. But yeah, there, again, I used the Yone ult to escape. You know, if I used that ult there, I probably would have died. I mean, I died anyway, but that was because I E'd back in like an idiot, so. The Yone ult is really nice for escaping because it covers so much distance. You just have to make sure that it's not hitting anyone if you're using it just for the mobility. So I see my team fighting in the top side. It's hard for me to roam there. Maybe I could have gone a bit earlier instead of going for the wave. That probably would have been a better play because I might have been able to kill the Annie there. I do greed for waves a little bit and try to like wave clear them as fast as possible before I actually go anywhere. But I think it's a bit of a problem because sometimes, you know, if I had just roamed there, then we probably get an extra kill. Yeah, when Yone E's like that, we're just gonna use our E to dodge his Q. And then once we dodge his Q, you don't want to engage on him while he still is most of the way, you know, while he still has most of his E left. Yeah, and Graves took that kill, which is really sad. But yeah, that was a clean outplay. We dodged his ult, but yeah, when Yone E's like that, you don't want to engage back on him when he still has most of the duration left, because he will just, you know, out DPS you with lethal tempo, which still hasn't been nerfed to a balanced state, unfortunately. So there, I went back in for a trade once he had about like a second left, because then I can get my damage off in a second, and it's a lot harder for him to get his damage off in that same time period. So it's just an overall net positive. So we go back there, grab our stuff. Our last chapter, work towards the rest of the components for Everfrost. Once we get Everfrost, it is a huge power spike. It lets us one-shot with a lot more ease, because we get that root that lets us guarantee our Q. And with this build, we are maxing Q second, so it is very high damage. So at this point, I'm a level up on Yone. You know, I'm not. He doesn't have many items. I mean, I don't have many items either. I go for the ward there just because I expected Blitzcrank to be there. But I know that I can probably try to go for a fight on Yone, especially if my team is nearby. I just can't go for any super long, full committing fights because, you know, Yone will win those because of lethal tempo. Now there, I wanted to take Blitzcrank ult, but my team unfortunately killed the Blitzcrank before I was actually able to get there. But we do kind of bait the enemy team away from our Zed ult return location, and we're able to get out. So that's something that I do a lot on Echo. You know, if you bait enemies away from a location and then you just teleport back with your ult, then you can get out of sticky situations. And so there, of course, I'm used to playing Echo like that, so I was able to use it on a Zed ult on Sylas. So a little bit of interesting cross mechanics. So we are following this roam here. We know that they're committing pretty hard. I was looking for a one-shot. I have Ignite. I have the Everfrost. Or no, I don't have the Everfrost, but I have Ignite. And I know that I do a lot of damage. So I was putting a control ward there just to make sure it wasn't warded. You know, maybe Yone walks back through that way, and then I can try and go for a quick burst combo. Didn't end up walking through, but it's a nice place to have a control ward anyway. So I'm not too unhappy about that. And Yone gets back to lane, he's still level down. Again, we're just going to have to save our E to dodge his third Q, because if we get hit by that, we're going to take a lot of damage. Fortunately, we do sidestep the Blitzcrank hook there. Now, I do have my ult available, so I'm likely going to try and take a Blitzcrank ult if available, because again, Blitzcrank ult is insanely good on Sylas. Low cooldown, very high damage, massive radius. So I'm definitely ready to look for a fight here, because I'm level 9. I have max level W. I have my ult ready. If we can look for a fight around this dragon, then we're likely looking in a good spot. Now Alistar had very weird positioning here. My team ended up kind of getting destroyed by the Yone ult, and this got engaged on. The Alistar was a bit sussy, I should say. I do end up dying to the Annie here. She has Ghost, so she just catches up to me. Because she roamed from top. And yeah, I mean, Alistar kind of ran in their jungle. I think we could have got, I'm ready to look for those sorts of fights in the jungle. Because I'm level 9, I have the max level W again. And with the ult, we can do a lot in those jungle fights, but Alistar sort of ran behind this dragon area. And kind of just got caught out on his own, because he was, by himself in the enemy jungle. So I was able to get a kill on the Samir with the Blitzcrank ult, but it could have been a lot better if Alistar just stayed with the team. And I likely should have, disengaged. But I wasn't expecting the Annie roam. So now I do have the Everfrost. So this is a good time to look for some kills. The Annie's 4-0, which is a bit of a problem, but she has a large bounty, so if we can catch her out, we could get a lot of gold. Here we do get jumped on. We actually barely live because of our W healing. And we see the Annie behind. I'm 1 HP, but we see the Annie behind us, so we actually, we can't walk backwards. We're going to die no matter what. So it's better for us to just try and re-engage in that fight. We didn't end up actually being able to do anything. We just died instantly, but we're either dying there, like we just did, or we're dying to the Annie if we walk behind. So it's better to try and go in, because there's a potential that we could get some abilities off, maybe get a W heal, and help our team in that fight. But sadly, that's not how that worked out. At this point, I mean, I'm 1-3. My team is doing decently well. Graves is slightly fed. Gangplank's even. The main problem on their team is going to be the Annie. So, I at this point, we've looked for some fights. Unfortunately, they haven't been played super well. Some of that is my team's fault. But now I'm kind of looking to farm, maybe get some cheap kills if I can, but I really just need to farm to Shadow Flame and Sorcerer Shoes because that's going to be my next big spike when I can start one-shotting members of the enemy team more effectively. So this is a pretty big moment, catching the Blitzcrank out there. I wasn't actually expecting to kill the Blitzcrank, but the Jinnel came in pretty clutch, did a bunch of damage and slowed him. So, was a nice kill there. Gives us some Dark Seal stacks. And overall is really nice. Definitely helps us get back into the game. And here we know that, Samira and Zed are kind of trapped in this one area. So, Graves and Alistar are walking from the bottom. I'm going to walk from the top, grab a nice kill on the Zed. I E'd through the wall there because I expected she might have flashed. Get the Blitzcrank ult for some nice burst damage. Yeah, E'd through the wall there because, she's hugging the wall. There's a chance that she can flash that, and I'd rather throw the E just to try and maybe predict her flash than throw it on her directly because if I miss the E on her there, then, we still kill her, which is what happened. But if she flashes, then it makes it a bit harder, and maybe she kills the Graves. So it's better to play for the worst case scenario when you know that the default scenario is going to be fine no matter what. So now we can just push bot here. We have to be a bit careful because the enemy team did leave vision. But I believe I do get this turret. I'm not super afraid. Yeah, I saw Annie mid here, so I was like, okay, well, I can just keep going. I'm only really afraid of the Annie, so. And yeah, just like that, we got two pretty cheap kills. One on the enemy support who tried to roam in our jungle. One on the Zed, who was 1 HP. And just like that, we are, a lot stronger. We're going to be able to go back. We have, how much gold do we have right now? Yeah, 2,500. So, a lot of gold, and we're actually going to be able to snowball that lead incredibly hard. Which is something that I think that I am incredibly good on, very good at on Sylas. Is just taking a lead and snowballing it extremely hard, and just demolishing the enemy team. With even like the slightest advantage in the early game. So yeah, we don't go for the full Shadow Flame there. We could have bought the full Shadow Flame, I believe. I think we would have had just enough, but I wanted to go for the Sorcerer Shoes. Because, if we have Shadow Flame without the magic penetration from Sorcerer Shoes, it's not really as effective. So I like the Sorcerer Shoes before the Shadow Flame just because the movement speed is very nice. And, the magic pen is slightly less than Shadow Flame, but it's, it's still basically the same. All we lose is a little bit of AP, but I will sacrifice that AP for the extra movement speed. So here we're playing around bot lane, just making sure that, we have a little bit of prio for the bot lane fight, because the dragon is up. Place the pink ward there just to deactivate that ward that they placed over the wall. Place a ward in that bush. Unfortunately, my team kind of gets dove on. We actually do get a little bit of poke damage on the Yone, but we are going to have to back off here. The Annie is just a bit too strong. It's really hard to team fight against an Annie. That is this Fed. He has Shadow Flame, he has Sorcerer Shoes, 10-stack Dark Seal, Leandries. He just presses down Tibbers, and Tibbers kind of just melts our entire team. Not to mention, the direct damage that all of his abilities deal. So we likely should have just handed that over for free. There wasn't really a reason to fight. I think Gangplank died. I believe he was the only one that actually died there, so it wasn't too bad, but... Now here, I see all 5 of the enemy team are mid, so there's not really a reason for me not to push this. Yeah, I'm gonna back off here because, I see the Annie roaming down, but then I think, Annie's actually roaming down. She's probably not gonna expect me at this angle, so I can maybe look for a kill. Now we're actually able to get that massive shutdown on the Annie just by playing that off angle. We're just sitting in this cubby here. She can't see past this wall until she reaches about this angle, and then we're able to Everfrost her here and get a nice kill. It would have been a little bit cleaner if the Everfrost lasted longer, but the nerfs are slightly annoying. but still, definitely, the item is definitely still amazing. And yeah, that 800 gold shutdown is going to serve us quite nicely. We're able to get our full Shadow Flame now. We start working towards our Zanyas, which is the third item that you should build on Sylas. The active is extremely important, since he is quite vulnerable once he goes in. You need that stasis to stay alive. Now I'm looking here, and I'm thinking, okay, now I'm extremely strong. I have my 2 items, my Sorcerer Shoes, I have a little bit of armor. You know, Sylas spikes very hard after the Shadow Flame. He spikes very hard after Everfrost and Shadow Flame, but the Shadow Flame spike is very, very big. And so I'm thinking, you know, I want a sideline here, and I look at Yone's items, and Yone is extremely weak. You know, all he has is a Chain Vest. His only damage item is, his only damage item is a Shield Bow, which doesn't even give him that much damage, and he's building for a Death's Dance. So there, I mean, I just completely steamroll him. You know, he doesn't do any damage to me. I'm just one-shotting him. I'll always look at the enemy's items, because, you know, you might think, you know, okay, Yone's maybe a little bit hard to deal with, but in that situation, you know, he's pretty far behind, and he's going for a Death's Dance second, so since he doesn't have that fully completed, it's not actually going to do anything against me. And I'm just able to completely dominate him there. Now I did go in for a nice flank here. Grab 3 kills for our team. Now we can just push mid. We actually see the Annie running up to our graves, and I know that I can fight this because, you know, she just used her stun. So I'm waiting until I get a good angle, hit the Q, and nice easy kill. One of the major things about playing Sylas and other champions like Sylas, you know, like Echo, any melee assassins that may be a little bit vulnerable after they go in, is that you want to wait for the enemy cooldowns. You want to wait for the enemy team to use their cooldowns on your teammates so that when you go in, they have nothing to stop you. So there, I'm playing pretty far away from the Annie. I don't want to get too close to her because I know that if I get close to her, she is probably not going to be able to kill me. I'm pretty tanky, but I don't want to take a ton of damage. So I know that, you know, once she throws the Q on my Graves and stuns him, her stun's going to be down for quite a while, and I'm just able to go in without any fear because I just waited for her to use the stun on my teammate, and Graves ended up dying, but it's whatever. We got the kill. At this point, I am walking down here because I saw Yone had his thing there. Let's actually go back because I don't know if it showed very well on the replay. But I was looking here, I saw the Yone. You know, again, Yone doesn't even have his stance yet, so I know that I can kill him. I see him on the wave here. I see where his, you know, tether is, so I'm walking towards that because I figure I can probably just kill him. The sweeper is very nice here because the sweeper actually gives me his exact location, so I know exactly where he's going. He's still a bit untargetable, but yeah, and then my team... Let's actually just watch this first. I go immediately onto the Annie with the Tibbers because she is the highest priority target. Tibbers does a lot of burst damage, so went for that. We were able to grab 2 kills. Our Graves did not kill the Zed. Zed managed to get away, but he does die in the river up there. So, earlier, I was spam pinging my team when we were killing the Yone. I was spam pinging my team to go to Baron because I was afraid that because Graves was bot lane, the enemy team would go to Baron. And as the jungler, see, this is something that happens a lot in, you know, higher elo. It should happen a lot in lower elo, you know, if you're playing a lower elo game. And, you know, four enemies go to bot lane to kill one of your teammates, you should do Baron because, you know, if the jungler's there. And so as the jungler, you should be careful about showing bot lane when Baron's up. And a lot of your team is also bot lane because it gives your team, or gives the enemy team a lot of room to just take Baron. And so I was afraid that the enemy team, since we didn't have them on vision, they were going to be able to go for the Baron there because Graves and Alistar both showed bot with me. And I was a bit upset because, you know, I can obviously kill Yone on my own, so there's absolutely no reason for them to be there. But fortunately, enemy team didn't end up being on Baron. And they tried to come and fight us afterwards, and we were strong enough to take them down. So ended up working out, but team definitely could have trolled that if the enemy team was near the top side of the map. And there, I saw my team on Baron, so just playing really aggressive at their bot lane inhibitor tower to try and draw aggro. I don't want them to walk up to Baron and contest my team, so I'd rather them contest me. Once my team gets Baron, I just backed off because there's no reason for me to keep pushing that and potentially die. At this point, I can just keep side laning because I'm so much stronger than this Yone. I'm 3 levels up on him. I'm incredibly tanky. I have the full Zanyas. Yone still does not have his full Death Stance. So against me, he basically only has 1 item. I am staying back a bit though because, the enemy team is missing. When they're not on vision, especially Annie, I need to play safe because I can't really be walking up like this. Now here I do walk up because I do see the enemy team, but I quickly back off because, enemy team can rotate pretty quickly from mid lane inner turret to bot lane. So I just need to play safe. Here I believe I go back because I can get my death cap. Yes, so I go back there to get the death cap, just a quick reset. Nothing was really happening, and top lane is still pushing pretty slowly. Gangplank's up there pushing that. So I figured it was a good time to go back and get that massive power spike because there wasn't really much else happening on the map. Once Gangplank gets that top wave crashing under the inner turret though, then that is when I'm going to need to be on the map here because that's when I need to be applying pressure. So here, go for another Tibbers. Tibbers is again very strong. Go for the Yone as soon as he goes back. We're able to get 2 kills there in that fight. Run down the Zed. I was going to flash for him, but the slow from the Gangplank barrel lets me catch up. Now Annie here, I know Annie is 2 levels down on me. I know I have a death cap, and yeah, I just go in and completely one-shot her. If I'd missed the E, might have been a little bit rough, but I still wasn't too afraid. And there we go. And that's the end of the game. I think pretty well played overall. We had a bit of a rough early game, but we were able to come back, got a couple kills, able to snowball it, and what were we at one point? I think we were 1-3, I believe. Let's see. At what point did we get 4 deaths? We were 3-3 for quite a while. And then, okay, so we were 4-4. So we were 4-4. That's when, that's when we went for our Shadow Flame. I think the build down here is inaccurate. Yeah, for some reason it was showing we had an Ace Rod instead of a Shadow Flame. But yeah, that's when we got our Shadow Flame, is when we got 4 deaths. And so that's when we were just able to pop off, and we get 13 kills at the end of the game. Don't die a single extra time. And yeah, pretty well played. We abused the fact that we were just, a lot stronger than the Yone. He was building Death Stance second, which is not going to do anything against us. And we had a lot of damage, a lot of tankiness. We were just able to completely destroy him every single time he showed up. And then just abuse that side lane, abuse the death cap, and just sort of one-shot the entire enemy team. I think there were a couple times early game where I maybe could have roamed a little bit and helped my team a bit more, but that's definitely something I can improve upon. But the snowballing is definitely one of my strong points. I can definitely close out a game when I get a lead. And by a lead, I mean I was like 4-4, but I had a pretty big shutdown, so I basically had a slight advantage, and I was able to turn that into a complete victory. So there we go, a nice, pretty clean game. This was from my stream on Wednesday, I believe. So yeah, no stream tonight, but I will probably stream tomorrow on Saturday. I'll probably stream Clash if my Clash team is actually playing. I'm not sure yet. And yeah, so we might return to try and climb back to Grandmaster sometime soon. I don't know. I still haven't made a schedule for it, but I'll stream sometime soon. Probably Clash tomorrow, something like that. And yeah, if you like this content, you want to see more, consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. Any feedback would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.